From the recent snow and ice storm here in the Lowcountry to your 7-day forecast, I sit down one-on-one with Bill Walsh, the Dean of Lowcountry Weather, for the special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. Well, Bill Walsh.
Yes, sir. Quintin, Washington. What's up? Thank you.
Boy, it's been a while since
It's been a while, yeah. Good to see you here.
Likewise.
So much fun. Good to have you in the Live 5 studio.
Yes.
Yeah, here in the broadcast. After what has been a crazy weather year, really, up and now a new year.
Right.
But yeah, it's pretty kind of crazy.
You are the Dean of Lowcountry Weather.
Well, I don't know about... I'm one of many weather folks that do an amazing job in this market.
You do, and we thank you for your service to the community.
Thank you. We've got good weather people. This is a good weather market, so we have great weather people at all the television stations,
right.
and yeah, it's fun. And what's great about weather is it changes so much so quickly that it keeps us on our toes.
You talk about toes. I mean, I was just talking to Stephanie and you about walking through the snow 2 weeks
Isn't
ago.
it great? Oh my God.
That was fun for almost a day.
Yeah.
And then, you're walking downtown, you're slipping and sliding over ice. It's like, oh God. What was that like for you to cover that?
It gets old fast after you see the beautiful snow for a while, like you said, but I think people had enough after 2 days. It was great, because in 1989, right, we had the big snow after Hurricane Hugo. We had Hurricane Hugo, then we had the snow, we had, a good snowfall, depending on where you were. We were in Mount Pleasant, we had close to 7 inches there, but as far as official snowfalls, this was the third highest, in Charleston, and I think it was 5.5 inches.
Right.
And again, we're talking about an event that only happens once in a great while.
Right.
So, unlike hurricanes, which can be very destructive, at least the snow was fun for a little while.
Right.
But the ice is no fun. You've got to be so careful on ice. With this as an ice onset, and it just came at like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. The modeling was pretty good with the ice. It just boom, ice. Everything started going crazy, and then the snow, thankfully we turned over to snow early, because we would have had more ice problems as far as people on the roads. But yeah, I mean, it's some people say once in a decade, type of event, and it's very cool to see snow, but it's good to see it go too.
Yeah.
I like winter till lunchtime. To me, that's what I like. Winter till lunchtime. Done with the winter after lunch, we're back to spring. That's what I like.
And then there's this talk about, apparently this, according to what is it now?
Oh, the almanac.
That's right.
Yeah. The old farmer's almanac. That'll get you every time.
Right.
They talk about it's beginning of February, something like that. The thing is, though, remember that's the almanac.
Right.
And, we look at more the science side of things, which we look at modeling. And we've been mild now the last few days, but the beginning part of February. The early part shows, the modeling does show another cold snap coming, at least toward the beginning part, right to the beginning to early February, 4th, 5th. Some of the long-range models still have another cold air mass pushing to the south. Now, whether you have a storm system develop with that, where it would develop and what could come of that, way too far out to look at. So, remember, winter, we still have plenty more weeks of winter. We haven't even had Groundhog Day. I mean,
that's true.
Where's Bill Murray when you need him? But, so we've got plenty of winter left. We've had some cold days. The other day it was 78, 79. I mean, it just depends on the day. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, that's kind of something out there. We'll look at it. But as we get closer and the modeling gets better, then we can actually look at if there's going to be an impact here.
You talk about days, so what's next for the next 7 days as far as the forecast?
Well, we're looking at a nice probably next couple of days into the end of the week. Then Sunday and Monday we'll look at some rain showers. Could even see a couple of thunderstorms. We're not in severe weather season yet, but we're getting there. March, April, May tend to be severe weather season when we get strong, frontal systems, strong dynamics with thunderstorms. So we don't see that with this event yet, but there are some indications that we could see a couple of thunderstorms Sunday or Monday, maybe late Sunday. So again, we'll just kind of watch that. And then we cool off a little bit. And then, like I said, the following week might be a little bit cooler. So there's never a dull moment, that's for sure, when it comes to weather.
In Charleston.
Yeah, exactly.
You have been doing the weather here for a long time. Way before I was born. I was born in 84. You came here right after 81 or 2.
At least a couple hours today. You were born in '84.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came in '86.
That's right.
In '86, and I was with Channel 4 for 6 years. And
Dean
we
Crosby
had
and
Dean Crosby,
Dean
right?
Swanson.
Dean Swanson. I still talk. I ran into Dean not long ago. Great people.
Yes.
Steve Bartlestein.
Right.
Do you remember Steve?
Right.
So that was great. I spent 6 years there. We did Hurricane Hugo
Right.
there. Won an Emmy for that.
Right.
It was. Let me tell you, that storm was, and I was pretty young at the point. In '89. I was let's see, about 25 years old, 24. And we're talking about, here comes this we haven't had a hurricane hit
Right.
in the U.S. for years, a major hurricane,
Right.
and here comes this big Hurricane Hugo. So for me, it was, like the sports have the Super Bowl, we
Right.
have the hurricanes,
Right.
right? So we had to really work on that storm, but then we had the snow event after. So that
Right.
was just a crazy year. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, Charleston's been great for me. I love it's. I've been here longer than when I grew up in Rhode Island, which is the smallest state way up
Right.
north, and it's so small that they carpeted the whole state. But you can drive from one end of Rhode Island to the other in 40 minutes.
What?
And that's the long way. So yeah, it's actually smaller than the whole county of Charleston. But no, I mean, it's been great. I loved it there, and of course being working with Charlie Hall.
Yeah.
That was really to work with Charlie, and he was such a mentor and such a great guy. When I came over to 5 in '93.
Right.
We worked together. I put his maps together. We put the weather together, the forecast. We worked pretty close together until he passed away. And I loved hearing his stories. He was so good at taking big weather events and being on television, cool,
Right.
calm,
Right.
collective. He used to say, "We don't want to alarm, we want to alert." And I like that. And I would try to carry that on. You don't want to alarm people, but you want to alert people. And that's kind of where we've gone with this. So and he was just such an amazing guy too. When my wife was pregnant, we used to have this little Miata, little tiny Miata, those 2-seater cars.
Right.
And he would say, "Why don't you take my?" He had this big 4-door Mercedes. It had 2 zip codes. It was huge. Remember the big one? He said, "Why don't you take my car? Well, let her drive it, Ma. You don't want to drive her in that little car. It's too small for those." Because stuff like that. That was just so Charlie. It was so fun. And going to the fair and stuff like that. And those are great days. And now we're in a different world of electronics. And
that's what I
I mean,
want,
you've got these things everywhere. So we're not just doing the weather on TV. We're doing it on the internet. We're doing it on Facebook. We're
Right.
doing it all over the place. So it's a different world when it comes to information, but it's still the same information. People still need to know the weather. They need to know if it's going to be severe. They need to know if we're going to have danger with a hurricane or a Dome of Delight day like today. Which
Yes.
is, beautiful.
Yeah, good day for a run too. But man, this was fun.
Yeah, I
And
really
you're gonna
enjoyed
be
this.
back.
This is great. Yeah, we're going to be on the show. Always good to see. I love having
you.
spend time with the Quintin and your family and everybody's doing good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My brother's at Coastal Carolina in Conway.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We love it there.
They probably got some snow just a couple.
Right.
Yeah, but that second event we
Right.
didn't get much out of.
Right.
We got a little bit up there, but Raleigh got like 7 inches. So
Yeah.
crazy stuff.
That kind of almost shut down the entire state of North Carolina.
I know it. Well, these events are just once in a great while. That setup for this snowfall that we just had was the perfect setup where we have a coastal low, cold air in place, developing storm typically to our south off the coast of Jacksonville. When that wraps that kind of moisture, already the cold air was in place. It was just the old saying, the perfect storm.
Yeah.
It was the perfect storm for snow for us, and we saw what happened.
Happened.
So,
Yeah.
I love it.
Indeed.
Yep.
Well, the Dean of Lowcountry Weather, Bill Walsh, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure, Quentin. Great to see you, my friend. Come
You too.
anytime.
Oh, thank you. I'll be available.
All right.